Alright, welcome back to The Adolescence of a Bookworm Anime Review, episode number 3. We're here reviewing episodes 5 and 6 for the series. Yep. So, these two episodes are quite interesting, to say the least. Because, basically, well, I should point out something interesting about these two episodes, is that episode 6 finishes adapting. I mean, from what I can tell anyways, it looks like the episode, I think it's 5, 5 wraps up the adaptation of book number 1, and episode 6 starts the adaptation of book 2. Well, actually, 6 finishes up adapting book 1, and this episode also starts off. Basically, like in the case of episode 5, this covers from chapters 18 to 23, and probably like halfway through the chapter. And then you have for episode 6, which finishes up that book, covering the last 2 chapters of the book. Yep, last 2 chapters. I think they might adapt the, there's also an epilogue and 2 POVs. I think they adapt those for a future episode. And then they start adapting book number 2, which is basically part 1, volume 2, but technically the second book of the series. This one in particular, covers the first 3 chapters. Actually, more like 3.5. So, here's kind of basically what happens in the course of these 2 episodes. Well, throughout this basically, well, in the case of episode 5, after the whole explosion of the last episode, next episode, 2D has her baptism. We don't see the baptism per se, we see from the outfit. And of course, Emma compliments basically her hairpin. And of course, her father has to get to the office because he has a work meeting. So, basically, well, after seeing 2D off, they go to the work meeting. And because basically the captain is busy, it's like, oh, we put this particular noble. And basically part of his week is using the meeting. And, well, she did tell Otto about it later on, after being there for a while. And she also think of basically making wooden planks. Okay, wooden planks. So, because the clay tablets basically blew up in her house, so basically she can't use those. So make wood planks, make the wood tablets, which thanks Lutz basically she would make all smooth. The problem is basically with how they write with them. They try basically using the ash mixed with water, doesn't work. And they try making these special pencils mixed in with clay, which that does work. But they wanted the wood to dry. And then, of course, basically, she comes back after, well, cutting the wood up the next day, and of course, maybe more. She comes back and finds, oh crap, basically, that her mother's using for firewood. She apparently didn't know they used firewood. And then she just... Now, this also happened in a previous episode where she gets upset. I think it was episode 3, I think it was. Where she got upset with, if I remember correctly, she got upset with the other 2 boys for stomping on her clay tablets. Here, she gets upset with her mom, and then it's like, she's talking about it was yellow energy, her eyes are basically lighting up again, and next episode, she finally suspects what the heck is going on. And then she collapses, and then she's out for 5 days. Yes, 5 days she's out. Then I say, oh, next summer is a baptism. Means that she's probably 6 at this point in time. They don't say her age per se, just that she's 6 years old, presumably. Unless, of course, they only HBO every 2 years. So, and she gets up, and of course she's very happy that she got up. And then basically suggests, oh, why not arrange the whole thing with, well, they can't use ink because that's 3 years salary for that ink. So she continues to be an assistant, by the way. So then, of course, basically she, well, talks with Lutz about being a traveling merchant. She's basically go between her friend and Otto, and suspect basically do something else, per se. Before that, basically, you have to prepare for this particular meeting. Of course, Otto agrees to the meeting, no problem. Of course, they're supposed to because mine got sick, so She proceeds to help him get prepared, basically wash his hair. Of course, he's like, "What are you doing?" Of course, and you just wash my hair, okay. He gets some nice clothes, and then of course the Otto bring a friend of his named Bruno, who is a businessman. Now the way he dresses here, yes, he is obviously a businessman. And the thing is with this guy is that based on the way he dresses, yes, he's probably obviously a merchant. It's just that when I first saw the way he looks, I'm like, wait a minute, that looks like 18th century attire that I've seen basically picked in documentaries. I'm like, wow, an actual look I've seen in real life history. Yeah, people have worn this particular thing. So, a little kind of traveling merchant, but the thing is, it's not exactly a good idea because he had to travel on for a while. And he had to basically he had to own to live in the city. He had to buy citizenship for the city itself. So then, of course, basically, he does notice basically the hairpin in her hair. Her hair is very shiny because she can't give away the formula for the all-purpose shampoo. So she just basically like, well, let's just go what it sells and just make Mine's ideas reality. And Bruno basically intrigued by that, like, okay, so what's your first product? Kind of paper made from plants. Be more affordable than what we usually use. Interesting. So, condition for apprenticeship, where basically by the next summer they had to basically make the stuff. So then, of course, basically they can't exactly use like a printing press per se because they don't have that in this world. There's no mention of it per se. So she's just basically using like what seemed like a very old-fashioned technique to make paper. Nowadays made with machines. So you have to find a particular tree where the wood is very soft. We can smush it. But you also make these like basically, well, they make the paper, yes, but also make the tools. We get these boxes. So some of the stuff basically pretty simple, but it's the thing that where it used to press the stuff. That part basically is the issue. We need nails. So we're out to get nails, but they want the all-purpose shampoo, came formula, but well, basically Otto brings Mine to his house. She, of course, have never seen the northern part of the city. It looks very nice compared to their part of the city, which looks not like a slum per se, but I'm kind of like, why in the world would north part of the city be quite nice and south part of the city would not be nice? Wouldn't they just basically uniform? I don't really understand that at all. It could be the society, so apparently, maybe Otto married some rich family. Of course, we meet his wife, very pretty woman. So basically, like, and apparently, according to Mine, that she is Therese's idol. This woman. Okay. Yeah, then of course he proceeds to wash her hair, look nice and silky, and of course basically a little deal, get the nails, and basically, well, and apparently it's like they're below the house. Apparently it's, well, we'll find out later when it comes to this. But there is also a flashback at the end of the episode, right after this, where Mine has suspected something like, okay, what was their condition that basically where these fevers sprout out of nowhere and then eventually they die down quickly, like really quickly. So, and she does ask Bruno about it, and Otto, but he doesn't know anything about it. But Bruno comes with a theory of what she has. Is that based upon the way he described it, what way she described it, she might have a condition known as Devour. Which, of course, probably see more explanation for that in the very next episode. But overall, still 2 good episodes. After the first couple episodes, basically, I thought, the series okay. As time goes on, I'm really enjoying the show. It's interesting, though, I'm watching a series where there's no much fighting in the show, no killing monsters. One of the rare occasions where... How should I put this? Where, like, you don't have a male lead where he's got a bunch of hot babes. That happened in the last show. But after this show, I'm going to do one more show. Just the opening season, because I want to do the whole thing, because this is very long. That is the plan anyways. I'm hoping today to basically go through, like, the whole thing. But the plan is after I do the next review for this one, which will cover the next 2 episodes, I'm going to watch One Piece just to get that out of the way and then focus on the rest of the show. If I don't get a chance to finish up today because I have tomorrow off, unless I get called in, I'll finish it tomorrow and start my next series. But that one season. Then after that, go back to Ninja Hunters. That is the plan right now. But I'm going to wait to do the Comic Corner after my next one because I only have 2 more left to go. So I'm going to stretch out a little bit. So that's going to be pretty much it, particular video. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications. So I'll see you in the next video. Talk about episodes 7 and 8. Okay, next video. Bye.